Hi Sharks! Today we're going to be doing some problem solving with addition and subtraction on lesson 1.12. So if you want to work along with me, go ahead and turn to page 76. I would like you to solve the problems on the side of your paper just like I'm doing, and then we'll write our answers on the line. So we're going to go to number 6, and we're at Tony's Tech Store. Tony's Tech Store had a big sale. The store had 142 computers in stock. During the sale, 91 computers were sold. How many computers were not sold? So right now I'm picturing a store, kind of like Best Buy, right, where we have computers. And I'm picturing on the shelf there were 142 computers. Now during that sale, 91 were sold. So that means I need to remove or take away 91 from 142, because then that's going to give me the leftover computers that were left on the shelf, because I need to find out how many computers were not sold. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we'll set up our problem, and we're always going to put the greater number on top, and we also have to make sure we're lining up the ones column, the tens column, and the hundreds column. So I ask myself, okay, can I take 1 away from 2? I can. I'm left with 1. Can I take 9 away from 4? No, I have to come over. I take 1 away, regroup, and add a 10 to the 4 to make 14. Now I can subtract. 14 minus 9 equals 5. So 51 computers were not sold. So let's put that in. Okay, let's go on to our next problem. I see that this is a go deeper problem, so I know that maybe we'll have a couple more steps than just one simple problem to solve, like in number 6. There are 208 people in one movie theater. There are 78 fewer people in the next movie theater. How many people are in both movie theaters? Okay, so let's picture this. I see that we have one movie theater, and then there's another movie theater. I'm just going to draw that. So let's pretend like this is one movie theater, and this is the one that's next, the next movie theater. So I have 208 people in the one movie theater. So there are my 208 people. There are 78 fewer people in the next movie theater. So in this second movie theater, there are 78 fewer than in the first one. Well, I see that word fewer, and I know I'm going to be subtracting. So I'm going to put my subtraction sign above fewer. Then I have to decide how many people are in both. Well, first, I need to figure out how many are in this next movie theater. So let's go ahead and subtract 208 minus 78. I know that if I have 8, I can take 8 away, and I would have 0 left. I can't take 7 away from 0, so I'm going to come over to my hundreds place, take 1 away, add a 10. That's kind of a little rhyme I tell myself when I'm subtracting. You take 1 away from the next place, then you add a 10 to the tens place. 10 minus 7 is 3. 1 minus nothing is 1. We keep the 1 there. Now I notice sometimes boys and girls will say, oh, that's the answer, 130. But remember, that is just the number of people in the next movie theater. I now have to combine them because I have to decide how many people are in both movie theaters. So I'm going to come over and show my work over here. I see in movie theater 1, I have 208. And I know if I have to find the total, I'm going to be adding. So I'm going to add 208 plus 130. Go ahead and pause the video to decide how many people were in both. So if you had the answer 338, you are correct. Good job. And I'm going to label people for my label. Anytime you have a word problem, you always want to make sure you're labeling. Let's go to number 8. We have another go deeper, so most likely this is going to be more than just one step. In 1 week, 128 cell phones were sold. The following week, 37 more cell phones were sold than the week before. How many cell phones were sold in those 2 weeks? So I'm noticing, just like number 7, we have a total amount, 128 cell phones. And that was in the first week. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a picture similar to my movie theaters. This was week 1. I'll abbreviate that. Week 1. And then I noticed in the problem the following week, 37 more were sold than the week before. And I know I have 2 weeks, so I'm going to draw a box here. This just gives me a visual. This is going to be the number sold at week 2. So I like this problem in the beginning here because 128 is already given to me. That's how many were sold in week 1. But I have to figure out how many were sold in week 2. So I'm going to reread again. I always reread. In week 1, 128 cell phones were sold. We wrote that down here. The following week, 37 more cell phones were sold than the week before. So I know I have to add. Sometimes when you hear the words more and then in a problem, you know that you'll be subtracting. But in this case, we have to add 37 because we're adding that to the amount from the week before. So let's add that together. Go ahead and pause the video and add. So if you said 165 for week 2, you are correct. And now most boys and girls, some boys and girls will say, oh, I'm finished. That's the answer, 165. But we have to figure out how many cell phones were sold in the 2 weeks. So let's add week 1 and week 2. Add those 2 numbers together. Go ahead and pause the video. If you said 293 cell phones, you are correct. Good job, everybody. Those multiple step problems sometimes have a lot of steps there that we have to figure out. Okay, let's go down. We have 2 more problems to go. So follow me down at the next part. We're now solving the mathematical practice at number 9. On Monday, the number of customers in the store rounded to the nearest 100 was 400. What is the greatest number of customers that could have been at the store? Explain. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do for this is I'm going to draw a number line. I'm going to draw this right down here. I'm going to put 400 here on my number line, and then I'm going to draw 300 here and 500 here, just to give myself a visual here. And I know many numbers can be rounded to the nearest 100. So I could round 399 to 400. I could keep going 398. And I could keep counting back all the way to 350, right? Because 350 on to 400 would round up to 400. But the problem is asking me what's the greatest number of customers. So I am going to keep going on to 500 to see what number would I round to the nearest to 400 without needing to go up to 500. So I'm going to think, well, I know 450 would round up to 500. But 449, that would still round down to 400. And I can see that's my greatest number. Once I reach 450, I would have to round up to 500. So I think I have my answer. So the greatest number is 449. There is a 4 in the tens place. So the hundreds place stays the same. So go ahead and write that out, boys and girls. You can pause the video while you're writing. And now let's go to our last problem. Think smarter. There are 306 people at the fair on Saturday. There are 124 fewer people on Sunday. How many people are at the fair during the 2 days? This was similar to our problem up above with our cell phones. So I'm going to write my same days, how I did this for the movie theater and the weeks. I look in my problem and I see Saturday and I see Sunday. We have a free answer here. 306 people were there on Saturday. We don't have to figure out anything there. That was told for us. But now for Sunday, I see there are 124 fewer people on Sunday. So I now have to take this Saturday number, and I know there were 124 fewer on Sunday. So I'm going to subtract because I know that fewer means I'm going to take away. So you can pause the video and practice subtracting and then come back and check your answer. I can't take 2 away from 0, so I come on over, I take 1 away, and then I add a 10 to my next place, 10th place. My answer is 182. Sometimes people say, oh, that's the answer, let's put it on the line. Nope, that was just for Sunday. 182 people came on Sunday, but I have to decide how many people are at the fair during the 2 days. So now I have to add Saturday and Sunday. Go ahead and pause the video and check back. If you said 488 people, you are correct. Thank you for learning with me today. The more practice we do on problem solving, the better we'll get. Thank you for attacking these multiple step problems with me, and I will see you soon. Bye.